Alex lived in a town where everyone knew your name. He lived with his mom, 2 blocks from the bakery. He wrote stories about the town, about the people, about life. He dreamed of seeing his name on a book cover. His friends Liam and Sarah lived nearby. They shared everything: laughter, secrets, dreams. They knew about his writing, encouraged him. Liam, a budding photographer, even promised to take his author photo someday. They spent countless hours in Sarah's attic, a haven filled with old books and fading photographs. The attic was their sanctuary, a place where time seemed to stand still. The walls were lined with shelves that sagged under the weight of forgotten stories, and the air was thick with the scent of aged paper and memories. It was here, amidst the dust and the echoes of the past, that they found solace and inspiration. They often talked about leaving their small town, a place that felt both comforting and confining. They dreamed of making their mark on the world, of stepping out of the shadows of their quiet lives and into the bright lights of the future. Each conversation was filled with excitement and a touch of fear, as they imagined the possibilities that lay beyond the familiar streets of their hometown. Liam, with his ever-present camera, wanted to capture the city's soul through his lens. He envisioned himself wandering through bustling streets, finding beauty in the chaos and the mundane. His photographs would tell stories of life and light, of moments frozen in time. He dreamed of exhibitions and accolades, of his work being seen and appreciated by people from all walks of life. Sarah, a gifted musician, dreamed of composing scores for films. She imagined her music weaving through the scenes of epic tales, enhancing the emotions and the drama. Her melodies would linger in the minds of audiences long after the credits rolled. She saw herself in a cozy studio, surrounded by instruments and sheet music, creating symphonies that would touch hearts and inspire dreams. Alex wrote. He wrote about their dreams, their fears, their hopes. His words flowed like a river, capturing the essence of their aspirations and the depth of their bond. He filled pages with stories of adventure and discovery, of love and loss. His writing was a reflection of their shared journey, a testament to their unwavering support for one another. He poured his heart into his stories, and they, in turn, poured their love and support into him. They were his first readers, his most honest critics, and his biggest fans. Their encouragement fueled his passion, and their belief in him gave him the courage to pursue his dreams. In their eyes, he saw the promise of a future filled with endless possibilities. His words resonated with them, reflecting their shared longing for something more. They found themselves in his stories, their hopes and dreams mirrored in his prose. Each tale was a reminder of their collective aspirations, a beacon guiding them towards a brighter future. Together, they were more than just friends. They were a family bound by their dreams and their unwavering support for one another. As Alex's talent blossomed, a subtle shift occurred. It was as if the world around him began to change in response to his growing abilities. The once vibrant and supportive atmosphere started to feel different, almost as if a shadow had been cast over it. Alex noticed the change, but at first, he couldn't quite put his finger on what was happening. Liam's praise became less frequent, his smiles strained. The genuine warmth that used to radiate from his friend seemed to be replaced by something else, something Alex couldn't quite identify. It was as if Liam's enthusiasm had been dampened, and his once encouraging words now felt hollow and forced. Alex wondered if he had done something wrong, or if Liam was dealing with his own struggles. Sarah, usually his biggest cheerleader, seemed preoccupied, her eyes holding a flicker of something Alex couldn't quite place. She used to be the first to celebrate his successes, always there with a kind word or a supportive gesture. But now her attention seemed divided, and her once bright eyes held a shadow of doubt. Alex couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness, wondering if he had lost her unwavering support. Their comments, once encouraging, now held a tinge of doubt. The words that used to lift him up now seemed to weigh him down, as if they carried an unspoken question. Were they doubting his abilities, or were they simply trying to protect him from potential disappointment? Alex couldn't tell, but the uncertainty gnawed at him, making him question his own worth. It's a tough industry, they'd say, their voices laced with a newfound hesitation. The once confident reassurances now felt like warnings, as if they were trying to prepare him for inevitable failure. Alex knew the industry was challenging, but hearing it from those he trusted made the reality hit harder. He began to wonder if he was truly ready for the obstacles that lay ahead. "Are you sure you're ready for that kind of rejection?" The question echoed in his mind, amplifying his insecurities. He had always believed in his talent, but now doubt began to creep in. Was he really prepared to face the harsh realities of the industry? The fear of rejection loomed large, casting a shadow over his dreams. Alex found himself at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. Their words, though seemingly well-intentioned, planted seeds of uncertainty in Alex's heart. He knew they cared about him, but their concern felt like a double-edged sword. On one hand, he appreciated their honesty and support, but on the other, it made him question his own capabilities. The once clear path to success now seemed fraught with obstacles, and Alex couldn't shake the feeling that he was losing his way. Despite the growing doubts and the subtle shifts in his relationships, Alex was determined to push forward. He spent hours honing his skills, practicing with a renewed sense of purpose. He looked at himself in the mirror, reminding himself of the passion that had driven him this far. The road ahead was uncertain, but Alex knew that giving up was not an option. He had come too far to turn back now. One day, a letter arrived that would change everything. Alex's heart raced as he opened it, his hands trembling with anticipation. The words on the page blurred as he read them, a mix of excitement and fear coursing through him. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the opportunity to prove himself. But with it came the weight of expectations and the fear of failure. Alex took a deep breath, knowing that this was his chance to rise above the doubts and show the world what he was capable of. As he walked towards the stage, Alex felt a surge of determination. The doubts and fears that had plagued him seemed to fade away, replaced by a sense of purpose. This was his moment, and he was ready to seize it. He took a deep breath, stepping into the spotlight with confidence. The journey had been long and challenging, but Alex knew that every step had led him to this point. He was ready to face whatever came next, knowing that he had the strength and talent to succeed. Alex began to question himself. Was he good enough? The thought gnawed at him, creeping into his mind during the quiet moments. He had always been confident in his abilities, but now doubt was seeping in like a slow poison. He wondered if he had been deluding himself all along. Was it foolish to chase this dream? The dream that once seemed so clear and attainable now felt like a distant mirage. He had poured his heart and soul into his writing, but what if it was all for nothing? The fear of failure loomed large, casting a shadow over his every thought. He looked at his friends, at their own seemingly stalled aspirations, and wondered if they were right. They had all started with such high hopes, but life had a way of wearing down even the most determined spirits. Were they all destined to remain in this small town, their dreams unfulfilled? Maybe it was better to stay safe, to stay small. The comfort of the familiar was tempting, a siren call that promised security but at the cost of his dreams. His writing suffered. The passion that once fueled his creativity was now a flickering flame, struggling to stay alight. The words, once flowing freely, now came haltingly, choked by doubt and insecurity. Each sentence felt like a battle, each paragraph a mountain to climb. The joy he once found in writing was replaced by frustration and self-criticism. He questioned every word, every idea, wondering if it was good enough. He felt lost, adrift in a sea of uncertainty, the once bright beacon of his dreams dimming with each passing day. The future that once seemed so full of promise now felt like an endless expanse of unknowns. He stood at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take, fearing that any choice he made would lead to regret. The weight of his doubts pressed down on him, making it hard to breathe, hard to think. He longed for a sign, something to guide him, to reassure him that he was on the right path. But all he found was silence, an echo of his own fears and insecurities. The small town that had once been his home now felt like a cage, trapping him in a cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. He wondered if he would ever find the courage to break free, to chase his dreams with the same fervor he once had, or if he would remain here, forever haunted by the question, was he good enough?